Have you ever felt like your emotions were holding you back? Like your doubts, fears, or insecurities were getting in the way of your success? You're not alone. We've all been there. But here's the truth. Weak feelings don't have to control you. You don't have to let them dictate your actions or stop you from achieving what you truly want in life. Today, we're going to dive into how you can take control of your emotions and stop letting them run the show. Imagine waking up every day knowing that no matter how you feel, you've got the power to push forward and keep moving toward your goals. That's what happens when you learn to master your feelings instead of letting them master you. It's not about ignoring your emotions, but about learning how to take action regardless of how you feel. When you do this, everything changes. You stop waiting for the right moment. You stop waiting to feel motivated. You just take action. And that's when true progress happens. Today, I'm going to share with you the key steps to overcoming those weak feelings that are keeping you stuck. We'll talk about how to push through doubt, fear, and frustration, and show you how to build the strength to keep going no matter what. If you've been held back by weak feelings for too long, this is your chance to break free. Stay with me, and I'll show you how to stop letting emotions control your future. Let's get started. Number 1, master your emotions or they will master you. That's the truth. If you don't take charge of your feelings, they will run your life. And if you let them control you, they will steal your potential, your success, and your future. Look around, most people are not living their best lives because they're letting emotions decide everything for them. They feel tired, so they skip the workout. They feel afraid, so they don't take the opportunity. They feel unmotivated, so they put things off. But here's the reality. If you let emotions dictate your actions, you will never reach the level of success you're capable of. You have to stop giving your feelings the power to control your life. Weak feelings will try to hold you back. They will tell you to stay comfortable. They will make excuses for why you shouldn't push yourself. But those same weak feelings are the reason why people stay stuck. They let emotions decide their future. And emotions are unreliable. One day you feel inspired. The next day you don't. One day you're excited. The next day you doubt yourself. If you wait to feel good before you take action, you will waste years doing nothing. This is what separates successful people from everyone else. The ones who win in life don't rely on emotions to make decisions. They rely on discipline. They rely on commitment. They wake up and do what needs to be done, no matter how they feel. You think a champion wakes up every morning feeling motivated? No. You think a billionaire businessman feels like working hard every single day? Of course not. But they do it anyway because they have trained themselves to act despite their feelings. They understand that emotions are temporary, but results last forever. Most people never learn this, and that's why they never get anywhere. They let their emotions make decisions instead of their goals. They let fear stop them from taking risks. They let self-doubt convince them they're not good enough. They let laziness keep them from doing the work. They let frustration make them quit too soon. And then they wonder why life feels stuck, why things never change. It's because they haven't learned to control their emotions. You must become the kind of person who acts no matter how they feel. If you don't feel like getting up early, get up anyway. If you don't feel like working out, do it anyway. If you don't feel like putting in the effort, push yourself anyway. The more you do this, the stronger you become. The more you discipline yourself, the less control emotions will have over you. Weakness fades when you prove to yourself that you don't need to feel good to do what's necessary. You have to build mental toughness. And mental toughness doesn't come from feeling good all the time. It comes from doing things you don't want to do. It comes from showing up even when it's uncomfortable. It comes from pushing through when your mind is telling you to stop. The more you do this, the less your emotions will control you. You stop being a slave to your feelings and start being the master of your actions. Most people let emotions drive their entire lives. They let sadness keep them stuck in the past. They let fear keep them from taking action. They let anger make them say or do things they regret. But here's the truth. Emotions lie. They will trick you into thinking you need to wait. They will convince you that you can't handle the challenge. They will tell you it's not the right time. But that's just weakness trying to keep you in the same place. You don't need to feel good to take action. You just need to take action. And the moment you start, something powerful happens. Your emotions begin to change. Action creates motivation. Action builds momentum. When you stop waiting to feel right and start moving forward, you begin to break the cycle. You take control. And every time you do that, you gain more power over your emotions. If you don't master your emotions, life will feel like a roller coaster. You'll be up one day, down the next, motivated today, unmotivated tomorrow. But when you train yourself to act despite your feelings, you create consistency. And consistency is what leads to real success. It's not about feeling motivated. It's about building habits that keep you moving forward no matter what. So from this moment on, stop waiting for emotions to decide for you. Stop waiting for the right feeling, the right moment, the right mood. Decide that you will take action, regardless of how you feel. Because once you do that, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who controls their destiny, not the kind of person who is controlled by their emotions. Master your emotions, or they will master you. The choice is yours. Number 2, stop waiting to feel ready. Take action now. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for motivation to kick in. If you keep waiting, life will pass you by. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. You will never feel completely ready. The conditions will never be ideal. And if you let that stop you, you will stay stuck exactly where you are. Too many people waste years of their lives waiting. They wait for the right mood. They wait for the fear to go away. They wait for motivation to strike. And before they know it, time has slipped away. And they are still standing in the same place, with the same dreams, the same regrets, and the same excuses. If you keep waiting for the right feeling, you will never take action. If you keep waiting for the stars to align, you will never achieve anything meaningful. Successful people don't wait. They move forward whether they feel like it or not. They understand that action creates results, not feelings. They know that discipline is stronger than motivation, and that's why they win. Because they don't wait for the right moment. They make the moment right. They don't sit around hoping to feel inspired. They get to work and create their own inspiration. The idea that you need to feel ready before you start is one of the biggest lies keeping people from success. Think about it. How many times have you put something off because you didn't feel ready? How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll do it when I feel more prepared? And what happened? Tomorrow came, and you still didn't feel ready. Another day passed, another week, another month, and you were still waiting for that magical feeling to arrive. But it never did. Because readiness isn't something that just happens. It's something you create by taking action. You're never going to feel completely ready. And that's okay. The key is to start anyway. Start before you feel ready. Start before you feel confident. Start before everything is perfect. Because confidence doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. You build confidence by doing, by failing, by learning, by adjusting. You don't wake up one day suddenly feeling ready. You get ready by stepping forward, by making mistakes, by growing through the process. The problem with waiting is that it becomes a habit. The more you delay, the easier it gets to keep delaying. The more you put things off, the more comfortable you become with procrastination. And before you know it, months and years have gone by, and you're still in the same position wondering why nothing has changed. But deep down you know why. Because you never started. Think about the people you admire. The ones who are successful, who are disciplined, who are living the kind of life you want. Do you think they felt completely ready when they started? No, they had doubts. They had fears. They had obstacles. But they didn't let those things stop them. They started anyway. They took the first step, and then the next, and then the next. They pushed forward despite the uncertainty, despite the fear, despite the discomfort. And that's what made them successful. You have to do the same. You have to stop waiting and start moving. Because action is the only thing that will change your life. Not thinking about it, not planning for it, not talking about it. Action, doing, moving forward even when you don't feel like it. Because when you take action, something powerful happens. Your mind starts to shift. You start to gain momentum. You start to feel capable. You start to see progress. And that progress fuels you to keep going. You're not always going to feel motivated. You're not always going to feel excited. But that doesn't matter. You have to learn to act anyway. Because the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people take action. no matter how they feel. They don't let emotions decide their future. They don't let doubt stop them. They don't let fear paralyze them. They move forward, step by step, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when they don't feel ready. So if you've been waiting for the right moment, stop. If you've been waiting for motivation, stop. If you've been telling yourself that you'll start when you feel ready, stop. Because the perfect moment will never come. The only time you have is right now. And the only way to succeed is to start, even when it's messy, even when it's uncomfortable. Take action today, not tomorrow, not next week, not someday, today. Get up, start moving, and figure it out along the way. Because that's how success happens. You don't wait for readiness. You create it by doing. Number 3, self-pity destroys growth. Eliminate it today. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to feel sorry for you long enough to change your life. Self-pity is one of the most dangerous traps you can fall into because it convinces you that your struggles make you special. But they don't. Struggles are a part of life. Hard times come for everyone. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple. Successful people refuse to let self-pity control them. They refuse to let it steal their future. They refuse to sit around feeling bad for themselves when they could be using that time and energy to improve. Too many people waste their lives feeling sorry for themselves. They focus on what went wrong. They think about what's unfair. They dwell on the people who hurt them, the circumstances that didn't work in their favor, and the reasons why life is so hard. And every single time they do this, they make themselves weaker. Because self-pity drains your energy. It makes you feel helpless. It keeps you in a victim mindset where nothing is your fault, but also nothing ever gets better. You need to understand something. The world does not stop for your sadness. Life keeps moving. Time keeps passing. The longer you stay stuck in self-pity, the more opportunities you miss. You could spend an entire year feeling bad about your failures, or you could spend that same year getting back up, learning, growing, and coming back stronger. The choice is always yours. People love to say, it's not my fault. And maybe it's not. Maybe life really did hit you with something unfair. Maybe people betrayed you. Maybe you were dealt a bad hand. But sitting around feeling bad about it will never change the outcome. Complaining won't change your situation. Wishing things were different won't make them different. The only thing that can change your life is action. But as long as you're focused on self-pity, you will never take action. Because self-pity makes you feel powerless. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you really think they never faced hardships? Do you think they never had setbacks, failures, or moments where they could have given up? Of course they did. The difference is, they didn't let those moments define them. They didn't sit in self-pity. They didn't waste years crying about how unfair life was. They got up, they fought back. They used their pain as fuel. And because of that, they became stronger. The problem with self-pity is that it makes you blind to solutions. You become so focused on the problem that you stop looking for ways to fix it. You convince yourself that there's no way out, but there is always a way out. There is always a way forward. The question is, are you willing to look for it? Or are you too busy feeling bad for yourself? Because as long as you're stuck in self-pity, you're stuck in a mindset that says, I can't. And the moment you believe you can't, you won't. You have to get up. No matter what happened, no matter how unfair it was, no matter how much it hurt, get up, and do something about it. Because every second you waste feeling sorry for yourself is a second you could have spent getting stronger, learning, improving, and building a better future. The longer you hold on to self-pity, the longer you delay your success. And one day you'll look back and realize that all those years you spent feeling bad for yourself could have been years of growth. Years of progress, years of winning. But instead you chose to stay stuck. Life is hard. Nobody is denying that. But the people who win in life are the ones who accept the pain, face the challenges, and push forward anyway. They don't waste time waiting for someone to come and fix everything for them. They take responsibility, even for the things that weren't their fault. Because taking responsibility means taking power. And the moment you take power over your own life, you stop being a victim. You stop letting circumstances control you. You stop making excuses. Some people will listen to this and get defensive. They'll say, "But you don't understand what I've been through." And maybe I don't. But here's what I do understand. Self-pity won't make your life better. Self-pity won't help you heal. Self-pity won't make you successful. It will only keep you trapped in the same cycle of misery, over and over again. And if you want to change your life, you have to let it go. The moment you stop feeling sorry for yourself is the moment you start winning. Because now, instead of sitting in your pain, you're using it as fuel. Now, instead of complaining, you're creating solutions. Now, instead of waiting for something to change, you're making things change. That is power. That is strength. That is the mindset of someone who refuses to be defeated. So ask yourself, how much longer are you going to waste feeling bad for yourself? How much more time are you willing to throw away on excuses and complaints? Because the world isn't waiting for you to feel better. Life is moving on with or without you. And if you don't get up and take action, you're going to look back years from now and regret every single moment you spent stuck in self-pity instead of building the life you actually wanted. Decide today that you will not waste another second feeling sorry for yourself. Decide that you will take control. Decide that no matter what happened, no matter how unfair life was, you are strong enough to move forward. Because once you make that decision, nothing can stop you. Not failure, not setbacks, not pain, nothing. Get up, move forward, make something happen. That's how you take your life back. That's how you win. Number 4, discipline over feelings. The key to success. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. If you are living your life based on how you feel, you will always be a slave to your emotions. You will wake up one day motivated and ready to go. But the next day, you will find yourself tired, lazy, and making excuses. And that cycle will repeat for years if you don't take control. Most people live their entire lives controlled by their emotions. If they don't feel like working out, they skip the gym. If they don't feel like working on their goals, they procrastinate. If they don't feel like pushing themselves, they settle for average. And then they wonder why their life never changes. They wonder why success seems so far away. The truth is, success is not about how you feel. It's about what you do. It's about what you are willing to commit to, day after day. Whether you feel like it or not, there is a reason why the most successful people in the world don't rely on motivation. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. It's unreliable. It might be there in the morning but gone by the afternoon. And if you build your life around motivation, you will never be consistent. You will always be waiting for the right mood, the right feeling, the right spark. But discipline is different. Discipline does not ask you how you feel. It does not wait for inspiration. It does not care if you are tired, frustrated, or unmotivated. Discipline gets up and does the work anyway. Discipline shows up when motivation is nowhere to be found. This is why disciplined people always succeed. Because while everyone else is waiting for the perfect moment, they are creating it. While everyone else is making excuses, they are making progress. While everyone else is saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," they are doing it today. And that is the difference between winning and losing. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's not about waiting for the right mood. It's about having the discipline to show up every single day, no matter how you feel. The hard truth is, your feelings are not an excuse. Nobody cares if you're tired. Nobody cares if you don't feel like it. The world does not stop because you're not in the mood. Success does not wait for you to feel ready. You either do the work or you don't. You either build discipline or you stay stuck in the same cycle of excuses and failure. And every time you let your emotions win, every time you choose comfort over discipline, you are making the choice to stay exactly where you are. Think about all the times you let your feelings control you. How many times have you skipped a workout because you didn't feel like it? How many times have you avoided working on your goals because you were too tired? How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow," knowing deep down that tomorrow will turn into next week, next month, next year? That is what happens when you let emotions lead your life. You trade progress for comfort. You trade success for short-term pleasure. You trade your potential for an easy way out. But here's the good news. You can change. You don't have to be a slave to your emotions. You don't have to live your life controlled by feelings. You can choose discipline. You can choose to do what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you don't feel like it. And the moment you make that choice, everything changes. Because now you are in control. Now you are the one making the decisions, not your emotions. Now you are the one deciding your future, not your excuses. The most powerful thing you can do is develop the habit of doing what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. That is how champions are made. That is how success is built. Not by waiting, not by hoping, but by showing up every single day, putting in the work, and refusing to let feelings get in the way. So the next time you don't feel like it, do it anyway. The next time you're tired, push through. The next time you want to make an excuse, remind yourself that every excuse is a step backward. Every moment of weakness is a test. And if you want to win, if you want to be successful, if you want to live the life you say you want, you have to pass that test. You have to show up, no matter what. You have to be stronger than your feelings. Because discipline is the only thing that will take you where you want to go. Number 5. Comfort is your biggest enemy. Escape it. Comfort is a slow poison. It feels good in the moment, but over time, it destroys you. It weakens your mind, steals your ambition, and keeps you trapped in the same place while the world moves forward without you. People think their biggest enemy is failure, but it's not. The real enemy is comfort, because failure at least teaches you something. It forces you to grow, to adapt, to get stronger. But comfort just keeps you exactly where you are, wasting time, making excuses, watching your life pass by while others take action. Most people don't even realize they are stuck in comfort. They think they are living a normal life. They wake up, go through the motions, avoid challenges, and tell themselves they'll take action when they feel more ready, more motivated, more inspired. But that day never comes. And year after year, nothing changes. Because comfort is designed to keep you safe, not successful. It keeps you in the same routine, the same habits, the same environment, because your mind wants predictability. It wants to avoid discomfort at all costs. And that is exactly why most people never reach their full potential. Success requires discomfort. Growth requires discomfort. Becoming the best version of yourself requires stepping into places that scare you, pushing past the limits your mind tries to place on you, doing things that challenge you instead of choosing the easy path. The problem is, comfort feels good and discomfort feels hard. And that's why most people will choose the easy way out, even when they know deep down it's ruining them. They stay in the same job they hate because looking for something better feels overwhelming. They stay in the same unhealthy habits because changing requires discipline. They stay in the same routine day after day because it feels familiar, and they convince themselves that one day they'll make a change. But one day never comes. If you want to change your life, you have to escape comfort. You have to be willing to do the things that make you uncomfortable, the things that push you beyond what feels easy, the things that force you to grow. That means waking up earlier when you want to sleep in. That means putting in extra work when you feel like relaxing. That means taking risks instead of playing it safe. That means choosing discipline over excuses, choosing growth over laziness, choosing long-term success over short-term pleasure. Nobody who is successful got there by being comfortable. Not one person. They got there by doing what others wouldn't. They got there by taking action when they were scared. They got there by forcing themselves to show up, even when they didn't feel like it. And if you want to change your life, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop letting fear control your decisions. Because every day you stay in comfort is another day you're wasting. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself you'll start tomorrow? How many times have you said you'll take action when you feel more ready? And where has that gotten you? Nowhere. Because comfort lies to you. It tells you that you have more time, that it's okay to wait, that you can always start later. But every day you wait is a day you never get back. Every opportunity you avoid is an opportunity you may never see again. And before you know it, years have passed, and you're still in the same place, wondering where all the time went. The only way out is to force yourself into discomfort. And yes, it will be hard. Yes, you will struggle. Yes, you will feel resistance. But that is the price of success. That is the price of growth. And if you are willing to pay that price, if you are willing to do the things that most people avoid, you will separate yourself from the masses. You will start to see changes in your life that others only dream of. You will wake up one day and realize that you are no longer the person who makes excuses, the person who avoids hard things, the person who stays stuck in the same cycle. You will become the person who takes action, the person who refuses to settle, the person who wins. The only thing stopping you is the illusion of comfort, the lie that says you can stay where you are and still expect a better future. But that's not how life works. If you stay where you are, your future will look exactly like your present. If you keep doing the same things, you will keep getting the same results. If you keep making the same excuses, you will never break free. And deep down you know this. Deep down you know that you were meant for more. You know that you are capable of more. And yet comfort keeps pulling you back. It keeps whispering in your ear, telling you to take it easy, to wait for a better time, to avoid the hard work. But the truth is, comfort is not your friend. It is your biggest enemy. And if you do not break free from it, it will steal your entire life from you. You have two choices. You can stay where you are, doing what you've always done, feeling safe, feeling comfortable, but never growing, never improving, never becoming who you were meant to be. Or you can choose the hard path, the path of discomfort, of discipline, of action, the path that will challenge you, push you, force you to become stronger. And that is the only path that leads to real success. So the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep waiting, keep telling yourself the same old story, keep making the same excuses? Or are you going to take control of your life? Are you going to step into discomfort and do what needs to be done, no matter how hard it is? Because at the end of the day, nobody can do this for you. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to push you if you don't push yourself. And every single day, you are either moving forward or falling behind. There is no in between. Decide today that you will no longer let comfort control your life. Decide that you will not settle for less than your full potential. Decide that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, you will push through. Because the people who win in life are the ones who refuse to let comfort destroy them. They are the ones who step into the fire, who embrace the struggle, who do what others won't. And if you can do that, if you can push yourself past what feels easy, past what feels safe, past what feels comfortable, you will be unstoppable. Get up, get moving, get to work, because comfort is your biggest enemy. And the only way to escape it is to take action now. Number 6. Excuses are lies. Kill them with action. Every time you say, I'll do it later, I'm not ready, I don't have time, or it's too hard, you're lying to yourself. You're giving yourself permission to stay weak. And the truth is, if you keep feeding these lies, you'll never achieve anything great. Because excuses don't just delay your success, they destroy it. They rob you of your potential, your future, your life. And the worst part, most people don't even realize they're doing it. They convince themselves that their excuses are real, that they have legitimate reasons for not taking action. But deep down, if you really stop and think, you'll see that every excuse you've ever made was just a way to avoid doing the hard work. Think about how many times you've let an excuse control you. How many times have you wanted to start something, but then a little voice in your head said, maybe tomorrow, and you listened? How many times have you told yourself you're too tired, too busy, or that you'll wait for the right time? And where has that gotten you? Nowhere. Because the truth is, there is never a right time. There is never a perfect moment. There is only now. And if you keep waiting for things to be easier, if you keep looking for the perfect conditions, you will stay stuck forever. Excuses are easy. They give you a way out, They let you avoid responsibility. They let you stay in your comfort zone. And that's why most people love them. Because taking action is hard. Facing challenges is hard. Being disciplined is hard. But if you avoid those things, you avoid growth. You avoid success. You avoid becoming the person you were meant to be. Look at the people who are winning in life. The ones who are successful, who are disciplined, who are achieving their goals. Do you think they have fewer excuses than you? No, they have the same challenges, the same struggles, the same doubts. The only difference is they don't listen to their excuses. They don't let those lies control them. They wake up and do what needs to be done, no matter how they feel. They take action even when it's hard, even when they don't feel like it, even when every part of them wants to quit. That's what separates winners from losers: action. Most people have no problem working hard when they feel motivated, when they're inspired, when everything is going well, when they're in the mood, they get things done. But the second things get tough, the second they don't feel like it, they stop. And that's exactly why they fail. Because anyone can work hard when it's easy. That doesn't take discipline. That doesn't take strength. What really matters is what you do when you don't feel like it. What really counts is how you show up when nobody is watching, when nobody is pushing you, when you have every reason to quit but you don't. That's what makes you unstoppable. If you want to be successful, you have to kill your excuses. You have to shut down every lie your mind tries to feed you. The next time you tell yourself, "I'm too tired," do it anyway. The next time you think, "I'll start tomorrow," start today. The next time you catch yourself making an excuse, stop and ask yourself, is this really true, or am I just avoiding discomfort? Because I guarantee you, most of the time, it's just your mind trying to take the easy way out. Your mind is wired to protect you. It doesn't want you to struggle. It doesn't want you to feel pain. It wants to keep you safe. And that's why it gives you excuses. But safety and success do not go together. If you stay safe, you stay the same. If you avoid discomfort, you avoid growth. And that's the hard truth. Most people don't want to face. Because it's easier to say, "I can't," than it is to push through. But if you want to win, if you want to build discipline, if you want to become the kind of person who follows through, you have to rewire your mind. You have to condition yourself to reject excuses. The only way to do that is through action. You can't think your way into discipline. You can't wait for motivation. You have to train yourself by doing. Every time you push past an excuse, you get stronger. Every time you take action, when you don't feel like it, you become more disciplined. Every time you show up, no matter what, you build a mindset that cannot be broken. And once you have that, nothing can stop you. The people who win in life are not the ones who have it easy. They are the ones who do what others won't. The ones who show up when it's hard. The ones who take action, no matter how they feel. And if you want to change your life, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to kill your excuses. You have to destroy every lie that tries to keep you weak. You have to take full control of your actions, your habits, your discipline. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares about your excuses. The world does not care why you didn't succeed. It only sees results. It only sees what you actually do. And if you spend your life making excuses, you will never get anywhere. You will watch others pass you by. You will look back with regret, knowing that you could have done more, but you didn't. So make a decision. Right now, decide that you will no longer let excuses control you. Decide that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, you will take action. Decide that you will push through every challenge, every doubt, every setback, because that is the only way you will ever achieve real success. Excuses are the enemy. They are the prison that keeps you stuck. And the only way to break free is to take action. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Number 7, fear and doubt die. When you move forward, they hold you back, whispering in your ear, making you question yourself, making you hesitate when you should take action. Every time you let fear stop you, every time you allow doubt to creep in, you lose another opportunity. You let another moment slip away. And before you know it, you've spent years waiting, overthinking, staying in the same place while others pass you by. You weren't born with fear. You weren't born doubting yourself. That was learned. That was programmed into you through experiences, failures, negative influences, and the voices of people who never believed in themselves. And now that programming is running your life. It's the reason you don't take risks. It's the reason you hesitate. It's the reason you second guess every decision. And if you don't break free from it, you will spend your whole life trapped in a cycle of what ifs and missed chances. But here's the truth. Fear and doubt are illusions. They feel real, but they only have as much power as you give them. Fear exists to protect you. But in today's world, it doesn't protect you. It limits you. It keeps you safe from failure, rejection, and discomfort. But it also keeps you from success, growth, and achievement. If you let fear control you, you will never become the person you were meant to be. And if you let doubt take over, you will never see what you're truly capable of. You think successful people don't feel fear? You think they don't have doubts? Of course they do. But they've learned one thing: action kills fear. The moment you move forward, the moment you take action despite the doubt, it loses its grip on you. The only way to get rid of fear is to do the thing you're afraid of. The only way to silence doubt is to prove it wrong. You can't think your way out of fear. You can't wish it away. You can't wait for it to disappear. You have to act, and that's where most people get stuck. They think they need to feel confident before they take action. They think they need to be fearless before they move forward. But that's not how it works. Confidence comes from taking action. Courage comes from doing what scares you. The people you admire, the ones who seem unstoppable, they weren't born that way. They built that mindset by acting in spite of fear, by moving forward even when they doubted themselves. And you can do the same. The next time fear shows up, the next time doubt tries to slow you down, don't analyze it. Don't sit there thinking about all the ways it could go wrong. Because the more you think, the more power you give it. The more you hesitate, the stronger it gets. Instead, move. Take one step. Do something. Because the second you start moving, fear starts shrinking. The second you take action, doubt starts losing its grip. You have to retrain your mind. Right now, your brain is wired to stop when it feels fear. It's wired to hesitate when doubt appears. But you can change that. You can reprogram yourself so that fear becomes a trigger for action. Every time you feel afraid, you move forward. Every time you hear doubt, you do the thing anyway. And the more you do this, the more natural it becomes. Instead of stopping when fear shows up, you push harder. Instead of hesitating when doubt creeps in, you take action immediately. That's how you become unstoppable. Most people spend their entire lives running from fear. They avoid anything that makes them uncomfortable. And as a result, they stay the same. They never grow. They never push themselves. They never achieve what they really want. But if you want something more, if you want success, if you want to become the strongest version of yourself, you have to be different. You have to face fear head on. You have to move forward, no matter how much doubt tries to stop you. There will never be a moment when you feel 100% ready. There will never be a time when fear completely disappears. That's why you have to stop waiting. You have to stop overthinking. You have to stop letting doubt control your decisions. Your future depends on what you do today. And if you let fear and doubt run your life, you will look back one day full of regret, knowing you could have done more, but didn't. So decide right now. Decide that fear will no longer stop you. Decide that doubt will no longer control you. From this moment on, when fear shows up, you move. When doubt creeps in, you take action. No more waiting, no more hesitation. Because every time you take action, every time you move forward, despite the fear, you get stronger. You become the kind of person who cannot be stopped. And once you reach that level, there is nothing in this world that can hold you back. Fear and doubt die when you move forward. So start moving now. Number 8, laziness disguises itself. Expose and defeat it. Laziness wears a mask. It dresses itself up as comfort, as a moment of rest, as something that tells you you deserve this. It whispers in your ear, convincing you to put things off until tomorrow, telling you that there's no rush, that you can always start later. But here's the truth. That moment of comfort, that break you're taking right now, it's not helping you. It's holding you back. And the longer you listen to it, the harder it becomes to escape. You've got dreams, right? You've got goals. You have something deep inside you that's pushing you to achieve more, to be more, to do more. But laziness is the thief that comes in and steals your time. It tells you to take it easy, to skip today's effort, and that you'll catch up tomorrow. But let me tell you something. Tomorrow never comes. All you're doing is giving away pieces of your future. You're trading in your potential for a few minutes of ease that won't lead you anywhere. This is not a lecture on the importance of working hard, though working hard is important. No, this is about the subtle, insidious nature of laziness. It doesn't always look like the lazy person sitting on a couch, wasting away in front of a screen. It can look like just one more hour of sleep, or I'll get to it after I do this one thing. It doesn't announce itself in obvious ways. It sneaks in, one small choice at a time, until you realize that your days are slipping by without you really doing anything substantial with them. You're allowing your future to be built by those small, seemingly innocent decisions to delay, to put off, to skip. But here's the thing. You don't realize how much time you're wasting until it's gone. You don't notice the days adding up. But one day you look back and you see an entire year or 2 or 5 gone. And when you look at what you've done in that time, all you see are moments where you chose laziness instead of growth. It's the small things that add up. The moments where you could have worked and didn't, where you could have moved forward and didn't. They all count. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can break free. It starts by recognizing that laziness is just a habit, a pattern you've allowed to form over time. And just like any habit, it can be broken. The key is to challenge it every single time it tries to convince you to stay comfortable. The key is to get uncomfortable. The key is to recognize that every time you push past laziness, you're actually strengthening your resolve. And here's the hard truth. If you want to achieve anything significant, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to do the hard thing when the easy thing is staring you in the face. You can't just wait for motivation to strike. Motivation doesn't come to those who sit around waiting for it. Motivation comes when you make the decision to push through, even when you don't feel like it. It comes when you take action, not when you wait for everything to be perfect. You have to get used to doing the hard work, even when it feels like you're the only one doing it. Even when the world around you seems to be taking it easy. You have to be willing to push forward, knowing that your results will come later. It won't always feel good in the moment. But I promise you, the satisfaction that comes from knowing you didn't give in to laziness is worth more than any temporary comfort. And here's what you might not realize. Your success isn't built on the big flashy moments. It's built on the small, consistent actions you take every single day. It's the commitment to waking up early, even when you're tired. It's the decision to do the work now, rather than put it off. It's about building momentum. Because when you start building momentum, you start creating results. And those results will motivate you to do even more. But you can't get that momentum if you're always waiting, always delaying, always choosing comfort over growth. Now, I know how easy it is to fall into the trap of laziness. I know how tempting it is to listen to the voice that says, "Take it easy. You deserve a break." But listen closely. That voice is the enemy. It's not your friend. Your dreams don't care about your comfort. Your goals don't care about your excuses. If you want something different in your life, you have to make the choice to do something different. The most successful people you admire, they don't get there by being lazy. They get there by showing up every single day, by doing the work when it's hard, by pushing through when they don't feel like it. They don't wait for inspiration. They create it by taking action. They don't wait for motivation to come to them. They take action and motivation follows. And if you can start doing the same, if you can commit to doing the work, even when it's hard, you will begin to see a massive shift in your life. You will start achieving things you never thought possible. Because the moment you choose to show up, to work, to push through the discomfort, you start building the life you want. And that life is so much more fulfilling than the temporary ease of laziness. So I'm going to challenge you right now. I'm going to challenge you to look at where laziness has taken root in your life. Is it in your health, your relationships, your career? Wherever it is, recognize it for what it is. Stop calling it rest or self-care when it's really laziness disguised as something else. Stop accepting it as part of your life and start confronting it. Choose to show up. Choose to do the work, even when you don't feel like it. Choose to be the person who gets up, who takes action, who refuses to be held back. Laziness doesn't serve you. Comfort doesn't serve you. Growth serves you. Hard work serves you. And in the end, when you look back on your life, you won't regret the hours you put in. You won't regret the effort you gave. You'll regret the times you allowed laziness to win. You'll regret the moments you chose comfort over growth. But if you can make the choice to fight laziness, to push through it, and to do the work, you'll look back with pride, knowing you took the path that led you to success, happiness, and fulfillment. So what's it going to be? Will you let laziness hold you back? Or will you choose the hard work that leads to success? The choice is yours. Every single day you get to choose. Don't let laziness steal another moment from you. Number 9. Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's not a gift that some people receive and others don't. Confidence is something you build day by day, action by action. It's a muscle that, like any other muscle in your body, grows stronger the more you use it. And one of the most powerful ways to build that muscle is by keeping promises to yourself. Think about that for a moment. How many times have you promised yourself that you would do something and then didn't follow through? Maybe it was a commitment to get up earlier, start a new project, or finally take that step toward a goal you've been putting off. We all do it. We make promises to ourselves, and then for whatever reason, we let them slip away. But here's the catch. Every time you break a promise to yourself, your confidence takes a hit, and with every promise you keep, your confidence grows. This isn't about making big, dramatic promises. It's about the small, everyday commitments that add up. When you say, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow, and you do it, you reinforce trust in yourself. When you say, I'm going to exercise today, and you follow through, you prove to yourself that you're capable of doing what you set out to do. And with each act of following through, you create a pattern of success that strengthens your belief in yourself. Now I get it. Life gets in the way sometimes. You have days where you don't feel like keeping that promise. It's easy to let one slip up become a habit. But that's the difference between people who succeed and those who don't. The ability to push through the discomfort, to do the hard thing even when it doesn't feel good. Those little promises, the ones you make to yourself in quiet moments, are the foundation for the confidence you're building. Here's something you might not have considered. Your self-worth and your sense of confidence are directly tied to your integrity. When you make a promise, whether it's big or small, and you follow through, you're showing yourself that you can be trusted. And when you trust yourself, you start to feel capable of anything. You start to realize that you are the one who gets things done. You're the one who keeps promises, even when it's tough. And that's where true confidence comes from. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It doesn't come from always getting everything right, or never failing. Confidence comes from knowing that, no matter what, you can rely on yourself to keep going. You can count on yourself to take action, to get up even when you fall, to keep pushing forward, even when the world around you is uncertain. Every time you follow through on your word, you prove to yourself that you are someone who is reliable, someone who takes responsibility, someone who gets things done. This is why the little promises matter so much. They might seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but they're the building blocks of your self-confidence. Every time you say, I'm going to do this, and you do it, you make a deposit in your own self-belief account. You're building a foundation that allows you to take bigger risks, face bigger challenges, and go after bigger goals. But if you keep breaking promises to yourself, you're undermining that foundation. You're eroding the trust you've worked so hard to build. Think about someone you admire, someone who seems to have endless confidence. What makes them stand out? Is it that they're naturally gifted, or is it because they've built their confidence over time by following through on their commitments? It's the second one. Confidence comes from repeated actions that prove to you that you can trust yourself. And the more you trust yourself, the more confident you become. But let me be clear, this isn't about being perfect. It's not about always following through with every single promise. Life happens. You're going to miss a deadline here and there. You're going to fall short sometimes. The key is in how you respond. It's about getting back on track, not letting a small setback become a permanent state. The people who are truly confident don't let failure stop them. They use it as fuel. They get up, they adjust, and they keep moving forward. Every time they do that, their confidence grows. This is why it's so important to start with small promises. If you set the bar too high, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. But if you start with manageable commitments, ones that you can realistically keep, you're setting yourself up for success. And when you start stacking up those small wins, they start to add up. You start to see a track record of success. You start to see that you can count on yourself. And that's when your confidence begins to soar. So what kind of promises can you start keeping today? Maybe it's something small like committing to a healthy habit, setting aside time for a passion project, or simply following through on the things you've been putting off. These little promises add up over time. The more you keep them, the more confident you'll become. And the more confidence you build, the more unstoppable you become. Remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing that you can rely on yourself, that you can take action, and that you can keep your word. And the best part, the more you keep your promises, the more confident you'll feel. You'll become the kind of person who shows up for themselves, no matter what. And when you start doing that, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. So take a step today, make a promise to yourself, and then keep it. Start small, and watch how your confidence grows. Keep showing up for yourself, day after day, and you'll become the confident person you've always wanted to be. Number 10. Weak feelings don't make strong people. Overcome them. We all have moments where we feel defeated, where the weight of our emotions threatens to pull us down. But I'm here to tell you something that might sting a little. Those weak feelings, those doubts, fears, and insecurities, they don't have to control you. They're not who you are. They're just temporary thoughts, and you have the power to overcome them. The journey to becoming stronger, to becoming someone who doesn't let weak feelings dictate their actions, starts with one simple realization. You can't let your emotions be the boss of you. You can't let the way you feel today dictate the way you act tomorrow. If you do, you'll always find yourself stuck, always waiting for the right mood, the right circumstance, or the right moment. And let me tell you, that moment will never come unless you make it happen. Too many people sit around waiting for motivation to magically appear, for their feelings to align with their goals. But let me tell you something that could change your life. Action, not feelings, is what creates progress. You'll never feel completely ready. You'll never feel completely perfect. The best way to deal with weak feelings is to get up and do the work anyway, even when it feels hard, even when it feels uncomfortable. Because here's the deal. Feelings are fleeting. They come and go. But what you do today, what action you take, that's what builds your future. Imagine someone who wakes up every day, determined to succeed. They don't feel like working out, but they do it anyway. They don't feel like getting to work on their goals, but they do it anyway. Why? Because they've learned that weak feelings don't have the power to control their actions. They've learned that their commitment to their future is more important than how they feel in the moment. They've learned that the path to strength is paved with action, not with excuses. You need to be the same way. Don't let yourself fall into the trap of waiting until you feel motivated, or until your feelings are perfect. You don't need perfect feelings to take action. You just need the discipline to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. And here's the kicker. The more you take action, the stronger you become, and the less power your weak feelings have. We've all experienced moments when we're not in the mood to do something. Maybe you're tired, maybe you're stressed, maybe you just don't feel like it. But the question isn't whether or not you feel like doing it. The real question is whether or not you're willing to push through. Are you willing to keep going when you don't feel like it? Are you willing to take the steps that lead to growth, even when your emotions try to hold you back? If the answer is yes, then you're on your way to becoming someone who doesn't let weak feelings control them. Think about it. Every time you push past those weak feelings, you build more strength, more confidence, more resilience. It's like a muscle that gets stronger every time you use it. And soon you'll realize that the things that used to hold you back, those weak feelings of doubt, fear, and insecurity, no longer have the same grip on you. You've learned how to take control of your actions, regardless of how you feel. Now, I'm not saying you should ignore your emotions completely. Emotions are a part of being human. They're signals. They tell you when something's off, when something needs attention. But emotions are not meant to be in the driver's seat. You are. You're the one who gets to choose how you respond to them. You're the one who gets to decide whether or not they'll control your day. The key to overcoming weak feelings is learning to take control of your mind. You need to stop letting those negative emotions drive your decisions. You need to stop letting them dictate whether or not you show up, whether or not you do the work. And the way to do that is by strengthening your mindset. You can't rely on feelings to dictate your actions, but you can rely on your thoughts, your intentions, and your discipline. These are the things that will carry you through when your feelings are trying to pull you down. Let me remind you, it's normal to feel weak at times. It's normal to feel doubt, fear, or frustration. But those feelings don't define you. What defines you is your ability to rise above them. Your ability to act even when you don't feel like it. Your ability to keep going even when the road gets tough. That's where strength comes from. Strength doesn't come from feeling good all the time. It comes from doing the work, even when it's hard, even when you're not in the mood, even when you feel like giving up. Every time you push past those weak feelings and do what needs to be done, you're becoming stronger. You're building a mindset that can handle anything life throws at you. And the more you do this, the less power those weak feelings have. They start to lose their grip on you. You start to see them for what they really are. Fleeting thoughts that don't have to control you. This is how you build lasting strength. This is how you become someone who doesn't let weak feelings control their destiny. This is how you step into the best version of yourself, by taking consistent action, by showing up even when you don't feel like it, by building the discipline to rise above the emotions that try to hold you back. So the next time you feel those weak feelings creeping in, whether it's fear, doubt, or frustration, don't let them stop you. Keep moving forward. Take the next step. Do what you said you were going to do, even if you don't feel like it. Because every time you do, you're building the strength you need to conquer whatever comes your way. And remember, weak feelings are only temporary. You, on the other hand, have the power to be strong, to be resilient, and to create the life you want, no matter how you feel in the moment. So get up, take action, and don't let those weak feelings control your future.